We are in Vienna, Austria, and we just went to this convenience store here to buy some water. And we got two different kinds of water. One is Prickeland, and the other one is Ona. We don't know what it means, so we'll see what we got. So we are at Schönborn Palace, and there is a concert by Sting on Sunday, so they are assembling a stage here, so it's not its usual look.
Private management group together. And now with all these events and concerts and money coming in, they are restoring it, but really from the bottom to the top. You see here, this was done last year.
So they're doing some reconstruction cleaning work on this side of the palace. See how much nicer this looks here. It's clean. This is the monument to the God of Glory, following a victory over King Frederick of Prussia. And it's been restored now, and inside here it is a coffee house. We're not going up there though. Here, this is behind the gardens here, looking at some of the reconstruction and cleaning that's going on. And then around the corner is where they finished it. So this is going to be the stage for a Sting concert on Sunday. This is the Winter Habsburg Palace here in Vienna. Over 2,500 rooms, constructed in phases, each of the rulers adding additional rooms and wings to the palace. So it's quite extensive. We just finished eating here. They have a very nice buffet out. Food was really very good. We're waiting for the bus here. We are at there's the art museum here. We're up on the balcony. So there are all kinds of old buildings here, and there seems to be endless amounts of cleaning being done or restoring them because they're all dirty from the old times when they would burn coal here to heat the houses. They turned the stone all black.
Inside your shirt, a money belt, that's like an open invitation if there are any bad people around, and that's it. So in many places, as you're gonna see, they will take only their own currency. That's why we need some old Russian plane from the 60s or something like that. And I don't know, maybe some of you have been in Russia, or if not, you might go in the future. In Russia they do have also quite a few restaurants. I mean, with democracy till 48, Russians came, took over power, communism, terrible time. Yeah, since we are already entering into Gior, or
Napoleon slept one night here in 1809. We are walking down the street.
They change money, huh? So if you didn't change anything, you can change 10 euros per person there first. In many places.
This is exactly the opposite direction. Both these streets. There's towers. This is a flower market here and a pedestrian walkway. So we think this is the Danube River here. The flower market we're just at is directly behind me. there's our bus waiting for us. There's a nice church there, sitting behind. This is a little bit better view, looking across the river. Here's a better view of the church. The bus isn't in the way. This is the inside of the church. It's quite ornate.
Now classical style.
Town hall.
With the spread wings, that's supposed to be an eagle, because according to the legend, one of those 8 Hungarian tribes which came in 896 settled here in the valley on the right hand side, where you see this town called Tatabánya. Was it the second, Sissi or Elizabeth?
Budapest.
And now we are in Pest, or Pest. This is flat part, commercial part of the town, business part of the town. Also quite historical as well. Believe it or not, here, one street on the left hand side, Váci Street, you see many people, pedestrian street.
So we are in Budapest, looking for a place to eat. We have to cross the street here. Go down 2 blocks. It's a little bit hard here because we don't speak Hungarian and not many people speak English. Found a place to eat. It is a buffet. All you can eat and drink for about $10. Pretty reasonable. This is the Church of St. Elizabeth, a couple blocks from our hotel. We can't really read the sign, so we don't know if we can go to church here or not on Saturday. They have mass times, but we don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday.
Statue of Liberty from 1945. So that's what you see on the left side. And you're going to go to the right and straight down the road and then turn to the waterfront.
Up on top of the hill here by the castle. Here's the cathedral on top of the hill here. This isn't in too tight here. So while the Turks controlled Budapest for about 150 years, and they turned the church into a mosque. You can still see the tiles that they added on the church.
So that means there is a gate. They charge very symbolical 500 forint admission, which is equal to €2, but that's all going for the maintenance. Because in 1896, when they redesigned it, they designed 7 little domes along the wall, because we came in 7 tribes, and we used to live in tents.
This is Saint Stephen, the first king of Hungary. So along the ridge here there are 7 of these towers, and they represent the 7 tribes that originally inhabited this area, became Hungary. Here's a view with some nice light of the church. So this building was left as a memorial to World War II. Some of the fighting that went on up here. You can see the bullet holes in the walls. Here's a view of Parliament. We'll be going there tomorrow, our tour.
Like an absolute perfect scenery of the bridge of the Pest side with the Danube River in front of us. This is very often called as a shark because it has got like a draw of the shark. See, even the little teeth are coming out. And this is our Adam Clark Square. It's rock, as you see. And here we are by the chain bridge. This is gonna be something very spectacular to see this city by night, because you can imagine all of these sites are lit up. Like this bridge looks like a real chain crossing the Danube River at night. The palace, the parliament, the churches, the monuments, they're all completely lit up. So it's one of the most fascinating and most romantic cities when it gets by night. Bridge, that's where we came over earlier. And on the very top of the hill, you see, and when you look in front of us, as we start turning with a coach, you just look on the left side. Notice that under the whole length of this avenue runs the so-called subway Millennium Underground Lane, which has been the very first underground lane in the European continent after the one in London. Yes, we're gonna make a photo stop here, so you don't need to take pictures from the coach. We are going...
This is Heroes Square here in Budapest. This has a number of the kings of Hungary, and up on the tallest column is Angel Gabriel. This is also a popular spot for the teenagers to hang out and do their tricks on their bicycles. Let's see if I'll do something.
Making building, because it's somewhere in the back of the little small street, but it's quite a nice design for a building and doesn't look like a synagogue at all. It's very unordinary for a design. It was built between 1854 to 1859. We're gonna have just tomorrow, and that is gonna be for European Union membership. So, you know, the parliamentary members for the European Parliament. All of our programs now just to make the people active for going and working. And this is already the view overlooking the Margaret Bridge, the Margaret Island. You see the...
So we are going to have dinner on this boat here. We're going to bring a cruise up the Danube and then come back and see the city by night from the river. Looks like a few thunderstorms maybe coming this way.
Got all different of the fish. The middle one has got cheese, and then the follower ones has got goose and I think another fish. Yes. So goose.
Don't drop your can in the river.
Battery stop. Round about. There will be a couple of minutes, and then we're going to change each other just passing
Down the river.
the other side.
Statue of Liberty statue on top of the hill there. St. Mary's Bridge. Looking up the river towards Parliament. Looking behind us here, St. Mary's Bridge. Church is here. The palace. Another one of the bridges.
set up, and that is the arch for the big food market. So we've got 4 of these large, over 100 years old food
They're
markets
getting
in
arrested for
Budapest.
some reason.
And out of 4, 3 have been modernized with the interior, and they put a brand new supermarket chain from abroad in there. This is one of them. And then it's a German Spar supermarket chain what's in there. I don't know where to go.
Our guide says this is a Chinese delegation. That's why they have a police escort.
But in anyhow, you see the churches, and then when you look at the Parliament building, and what you need to know about this Parliament building, this is something which is like a pride for our whole country and our whole nation. It took us 19 years to build up this Parliament, and got open in 1904. So since 1904, well, we have got in May and in June quite often this green flood coming from the mountains. It's a melted snow gets there, and then this road gets under the water completely.
Really?
And then
That's a new morning, and we are about to take a tour of the Parliament building here. And it's very, very fancy. Built finished about 100 years ago. Took them 19 years to build.
They believe in God and wanted to live a religious life. It doesn't matter what kind of a religious group they were belonging to. They were frightened to death. So they have had no choice but to join the party. Someone did not. 10 years and the people were scared to death. They were scared even to say a happy word because they knew they could have wicked next day they can make it. And they did have the whole underground national spy organization. And that was a big thing that the university students organized the revolution today. And it started here as a silent demonstration.
This is a model of the Parliament, all done with matchsticks.
And recently, Hungarian minorities were just getting it from the Romanian government that they could build up again a copy of the monument. And since this is their mother country and this is their old capital,
This is the interior. Very ornately decorated with 41 kilograms of gold and 40 kinds of marble. So now we're going to see the crown.
he's the only one who does not face the center. He's looking at his neighbors, and I will tell you later on why. Next to him, the first one on this side has got the crown and this coronation jewels, and that's Saint Stephen. And you remember we have seen Stephen's statue by the fisherman's bastion. So he was the one with him. Seen one of the very enamel pictures as many times it has been made in very high
Saint Stephen's crown.
It just goes down, and then we received it back. So it's back in.
This is an unused wing of the Parliament. It's an identical wing on the opposite side of the building where they actually hold Parliament. This isn't used anymore.
Not enough light? Not enough light?
from the cities. Of the very nice parks of the city. When we are coming back from the country, we will use the other bridge on the other side of the island. So if someone those hotels and asks the reception, they can order you a taxi. And you can always get home from here as well. So, you know, these are all options I'm telling you because you've got like a whole Roman spa. 1,900 years ago. This was also quite spectacular because they used
So we're now visiting a replica of an old Hungarian village that they moved here. There's a windmill, which is typical of southern Hungary.
Hungarian families, and they got moved and rebuilt to create like a scene of the old village of that region. This is the name of this region. We've got 5 of these regions completed in the village museum, so that can be like a whole day.
This is in the wealthy house. There's a room there. And fancy Easter eggs. She's making them there. Typical interior. It's the other wing. Dining table. This was a pole that someone would climb. It was a lookout pole. Climb up there and sit at the top and watch for any dangers that might be coming. They have a crucifixion scene here. The other we're not sure what these are. Sort of at first you would think they were ovens, but there's a cross above this one, so maybe they're graves. We don't really know. So cherry trees here growing along the road through town. Here's the church here, a very small little chapel. So here are all the villages. There are villages from different parts of Hungary, so you can visit different areas of the country, see what they used to look like historically. So the one we visited was from northwestern Hungary. Here's a windmill here. This is typical of southern Hungary.
Absolutely the same of St. Andrew's inhabitants. And they were running very good business still through the centuries. This town never got destroyed, never got hurt, never got taken by the Turks. It was only once flooded. You can get the one which is spicy, or you can get the one which is mild. And we use mainly the mild. You will see it in the cooking course. And you will see how to cook as well. But this is what we do.
We're in the square now. There's St. Andrew's Church there in the background. So this cross is set up as a memorial to Black Plague, and there's actually someone that suffered from the Black Plague buried underneath here, head down, because they thought that the Black Plague wouldn't come if they buried him head down. So we're walking through a narrow passageway to where we're going to go have lunch. There's St. Andrew's Church. Here's where we're going to eat.
Drink, and I would need a couple of these volunteers who want to cook the soup, because I don't want to end up chopping the onions and the carrots by myself, because I'm a very good cook already. So yeah, I mean, I don't need a practice for that. So if all the onions,
we just got done chopping up the meat and the carrots and the onions for a goulash.
He's cutting up the meat. He has sliced up a couple of tomatoes as well, because a fresh tomato or fresh green pepper makes it even more juicy. And no, not water yet. No water yet. This is the water of the garlic. No, the onion. The onion. You don't use garlic for the goulash. I'm just speaking for the little thing. In it, and then it's cooked for another hour, and then afterwards they put the potatoes and then rust the little noodles, the little pasta. So that's why that's all together for 3 hours of a meal. And when you just leave it like this with a half red wine, half water, that is gonna turn to be the stew what we had last night. So now in one hit you have learned 2 meals.
When do you put the wine in?
Here we are looking down at a gift shop from above. We're up above at St. Andrew's Church. There's a little overlook here. See the other church? The village right there. This is St. Andrew's Church. So we're on this little patio area. There's a lady from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yes.
Overlook the village, and here's the other church. Right here. If Dad were here, this is where he would be. In the CD shop, looking for music. So we're down off of the hill now. We're guessing this is the Blue Danube. And there's a dike along here. Restaurants, and there's we just came out of here, shopping, little things for sale. Look down the river again. So we were just in the Museum of Fine Art right there, which is next to Hero Square. We were yesterday evening. Now we're going to walk back to the hotel, so we have to cross the street here and then hang a right on the next street. Make it back for dinner time. It's a wedding in Hungary right there. Cars going by here with the stuff on there. And
that would be wonderful. I spend probably 50% of my time.
Not really much, so it's
So they must have
definitely more
paid
beautiful from
anyway to do
outside.
that program. We were very disappointed.
Creation statue over there. And of course coming to the main. Alright, so please prepare your passport.
border with Slovakia. So we think the guys in the blue are Hungarian, and in the gray they are from Slovakia. Just like on my bicycle rides, every time I cross from Minnesota into Wisconsin, I have to show my passport. They won't let me in unless I have my cheese head on. So we are in Slovakia now, stopping for a little bathroom break. There's a better view of people aren't walking past on the bus. There's a little welcome sign. Here's an exciting panorama shot at the border. 2 gas stations, one on either side of the road. Looking back, there's the border. And here's the other gas station, and there's our bus.
And that was a bit painful process. Back in 1990, And the reason for that, I think there are more reasons. Say they're making maps of Europe, and they were saying you will be together with this or that, they were giving their blessings or not, right? So
McDonald's in Slovakia.
Different.
100 meters above sea level, so about 3,500 feet high. And not only in winter, in winter of course, but in summer as well, you know, not now, but next month, July, August, when, you know, there are school vacations, when they going to the holidays, you know, sometime when they will decide to spend a few days in summer here, nice countryside with their kids. The name of this place is Dona Valley. And there are many more skiing resorts, but they're a little bit farther, you know, from the main road, those higher skiing resorts.
Ski resort over here. Some attractive communist era housing blocks.
This is a river, by the way, Bach, B-A-H, Bach River. Look what a nice picture over there on the left, all the mountains and the valleys.
So we're making a brief stop here at this castle, and it is rumored that Dracula spent some time here. There's our bus. Just a little photo stop. Little engine work here.
That's a pension somewhere.
Just like the United States.
That's it.
So here we come to the Polish border. Looks a little bit, what's a good word?
Weathered.
Weathered, deteriorated, not well taken care of. Tough life as a border guard.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Australia, they're Irish churches.
I thought you were going to say they're all American.
Bronco is getting some money for the salt mines.
Down south, mostly in New York.
Russia, of course, Russia is still the biggest country in Eastern Europe, but then Russia is not only European country, but also Asian country. As we know, there are mountains in Russia. They didn't travel long when they left from their old homeland, somewhere from the Ural Mountains in Russia. He just went a little bit far because Poland had a large Jewish community the Second World War. So we know it for the Second World War as well. It's very different. To Berlin we'll see still some mountains, but not really high mountains. Apart from that, it's very, very flat country, wide open. And looking at the history, maybe just 5 minutes, I don't want to bother you with so much history, but just to give an idea. Of course, Polish people are Slavic people, Slavic tribe, similar to in Europe, only sons, only male children could inherit the throne. But that was changed later on also, throughout history in the 15th, 16th century, Elizabeth I and so on.
We're stuck in traffic. Everyone's coming back from vacation.
Yes.
Just selling.
This country, don't say those are.
It's good for grass, because it's a kind of natural
Selling it
fertilizer.
here too. Some sort of pastry.
Yeah, everybody goes back, that's right.
So we are stuck in traffic. We have arrived at the salt mines. This is a UNESCO site. We have to go this way. Here's our group. They're all waiting for the elevator.
The number of visitors per year is 800,000 people. About 50% of them are Polish visitors, 50 outside. The subject of your visit will be two underground chapels and many kinds of salt statues. Do góry? Tak? Jest 28 do ile? Okay, in person, this way.
So we made it out. To the mine.
It's approximately 200 feet. And now we start the visit in the mine. All the time walking, going down to the depth 135 meters. That would be approximately 420 feet. What is important to remember? So the tour takes approximately less than 2 hours, and finally will be the break. And after the break, I will try to find a way out from here. So black stone, but this is even the salt here. So mostly over 90% of salt deposits looks like this over here. So it's much different if you compare it with the table salt, because also the purity is much different. Table salt consists of, you can see also some of them are open for the public to watch. but the small. So according to the legend, salt came here from Transylvania and then in the ring. So you're watching now the demonstration of the story because those two miners, they bring up salt. One of them is kneeling and giving to her the ring inside of the salt, and behind her you can see Polish and Hungarian guards, being the symbols of friendship of two nations. I thought it in past they didn't know electricity, so they were using ventilation systems, but only gravity ovens. It was imperfect. What wanted to light, they were using torches or candles. So the history of the mine knew about numerous fires happening underground. The biggest fire in the history of the mine started to burn not far from here, from that time, 1645. That was the fire taking for more than 3 years, and over 400 people died in that fire. So after such big disaster, the people start thinking how to protect themselves. The idea was to come before mining groups digging salt, such little groups, they were 2, maximum 3 men, they were coming previously before the miners, because to burn with long torches, gas concentrating itself close to the cylinders, because lighter. So such people like here, they were provoking gas explosion because to prevent next following groups of the miners. 17th century, 1645. This equipment has been used to transport salt or timber in past. Before they start using electricity, before 1912, they were using many horses. We know about 300 horses working every day in the mine, so there was no way to bring so many horses every morning to the mine. So the horses were stabled underground.
Said that the horses became blind because they spent 10 years underground without ever, they could never take them up. See what the mining was like a long time ago, hundreds of years ago. Dragging everything up by hand.
By the miners as friendly and sympathetic ghosts, because they believe they are ready to come before danger to warn people. That's why are presented over here as working miners. The first in the front of you, he's pushing the trolley and carved around the cylinder. The blocks have been carved around the cylinders because to roll, transport them by rolling, or to pick up them and transport this way. The next up there works as carpenter. You observe plenty of timber underground because this is still the best construction material in the mine. Wood is the best because it's flexible and keeps flexibility for a long time. If longer, this wood being underground. So the chapel is more than 140 years old. The age of every statue is more than 300 years. It's different because those statues have been standing in other places and they've been later moved from there up here. And that happened in 1963. 1963 minus 1896 is 67 years, and including war breaks, when they didn't do the carving, so long was taken to this running carving. It was done by 3 miners. 3 people did, all around. If you take a look all around, that story of the life of Jesus Christ, the resurrection side chapel is a proof of Jesus Christ down there, and the last one was over there, 1963, down in
There's the Pope at the back of the cathedral. This is super saturated salt water, 24% saline.
Von Goethe, who was not only poet, because he was also scientist, he was minister of the mining in Weimar, and he visited this mine in 1790. He spent 2 days here. If you ever visit Weimar in Germany, there is still his museum, and some crystals in his collection of crystals are from here, from this mine.
So we're supposed to be hearing the ghost of the mine, the music and the sounds.
Polish history. In 18th century, after 3 partitions of Poland, Poland didn't exist for a long time as independent country because it was split between Russia, Prussia, and Austro-Hungarian monarch. So this place belonged to Austria for longer than 120 years. The same Krakow. Vienna is not far from here because it's 450 kilometers. For instance, Warsaw is 320 kilometers. So this, in those days, sure, the capital was in Vienna, for this part of Poland. And so was up to the end of the First War. And in 1918, this man declared independence and Second Republic Poland, and he united those parts belonging to Austro-Hungarian monarch, Russia and Prussia as one republic. It was Second Republic. Second, because the first one was after the Constitution of 3rd May in 1791, and today, since Lech Walesa became president of Poland, is Republic number 3.
This is the end of the tour, and they have a little gift shop here. Wow, this is a big room.
Many cars, so this one for fun.
Our guide said that the Germans used this big cavern area here for jet engine production for Messerschmitt at the end of World War II. So there's the ghost coming out of the chamber there to warn the miners that it's dangerous. So the ghost was a good ghost, the ghost of the mine. So we've reached the end of the tour. Back to the lift and back up. So we got an 11th floor room.
Huh?
We got an 11th floor room here at the hotel. So this is a view of Krakow, our hotel room.
I prefer with orange juice, so we can ask orange juice, you know, and some ice cubes, and then we mix it, we put all of it.
So this is where our dinner is tonight. We're going to have Polish food and music and dancing here.
Bunko, we need your help.
Help. We'll get you over in a minute. He stays here for the rest of the evening, then we'll stay.
Yeah, right.
Did you get them? Yes.
That's the honey, that's what
That's the honey one. That's the honey one.
we need some.
This way.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about it.
Sure. Well, this is
This one here?
dry one. Yeah, that's excellent.
Okay, how about this one?
This is honey vodka. This you drink normally straight, without any.
Straight up, okay.
This one you can drink straight or with orange juice. I prefer with orange juice, but it's up to you. So I will put a little bit of this here. You can mix it with the orange juice later.
Yeah, put it with orange
And I'll
juice.
bring some ice cubes as well.
Ice cubes with this one?
With this one.
With this one, okay.
Where are your glasses?
Put your glass.
I'll put you here sweet one, honey vodka, and then in another one we are gonna put dry one.
This one is good. I
Sorry?
like it.
Here we are.
Lots of alcohol tonight.
Oh, that was fun.
You'll have to
I've got it, but
Don't be so stiff. Come on. Don't be so stiff. It's too stiff. Get him one. He's a computer guy. He's too young and a computer guy. Too stiff. Too stiff. Come on. Let loose. Come on. Too stiff. Very good. Very good. Outstanding. Very nice.
I should have taken that. It's beautiful.
All right, enough.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
There's a load of flame on there.
You're bringing a beer.
I don't even want a beer.
I don't know what happened. Well, I've got two women, that's why.
At the hill of the Wawel Hills. Wawel, that's we spell with W-A-W-E-L. It means the natural hill. And just there was a million years ago there was a natural hill. Till this moment we have two greatest monuments of Poland. So the cathedral, the place of the coronation, and the castle, the residence of the Polish kings. And just we are from Argentina, from Australia.
People that donated money to have this restored.
Buildings before they were damaged. And just we can see only the remains of the second building of the cathedral from 12th century, so that this is this stone part, and just the rest of it, that's the red brick. So there is the third building of the cathedral. It was founded by our king Casimir the Great, and just his name is really important because.
So the water drainage spouts, this is the courtyard, are all in the shape of a dragon. Another one here. Dragon's mouth. Hard to see from this angle. It's a better view. So here's a better shot of the cathedral and the castle. The courtyard there is behind that building where we were just a minute ago. We're up on the wall here looking down. And there's a statue. Dragon right there. Can't quite get far enough back here to get it all in one shot, but get a good view.
So there's something.
We're in front of the church entrance, and these are supposed to be the dragon bones. They keep them here, and then the dragon won't bother them. We have a group of students here with them. We're in the square in Krakow now.
Albert, the main cathedral of Poland, and the St. Mary's Church. This is the church which we are going to visit 12:15. All right, and just every for the lunch and for the shopping. The shops are open from 10 or 11 o'clock. There is no break during the day, and just so that's the souvenirs which I really recommend. And the prices are.
That's really pretty with the red flowers.
Like to hear that trumpeter play.
Here's the shopping. See all the kids here. They're trying to grab the pigeons. It's pretty funny to watch. So at noon every day, or at the top of the hour, it's a trumpet that plays. We just missed it though.
And just in a moment we'll meet in the square.
Made of black marble. It's outside the church. We are at Auschwitz now.
Prisoners were to build chemical factory for this compound, IG Farben industry, that was German. And a part of these 3 camps, which are more or less on the side of the town, there were another 40 sub-camps placed in different areas in Upper Silesia, close to coal mines, close to factories where the prisoners were used as slave labor.
Two rows of barbed wire fence. Keep people in. This is the execution wall where they would bring prisoners to be shot. Just by the end of the last barracks there. This is the gas chamber. The only one to survive because it was converted into a bomb shelter. It was much smaller than the other ones that were built. They were all destroyed. So this looks like some sort of a military. They're here. This is Birkenau, which is the second stage of the Auschwitz concentration camps. And the trains came in here, right there through the gate. Here's the rail line. Comes in through there. So this man was a prisoner here. He survived. He visits every year on the 14th of June. He was a Polish soldier. student who was kept for his intellectual ability, kept around. He survived.
Nice weather, the interior was wet. So huge rats were very flattened under these rats. In the middle we may see the heating system. A stove here, chimney and a stove on the opposite side. But notice these the holes between the wall and the roof. So it did not have the proper function. So most of the time the chimney was used as a place to sit down and for example eat. What they were given to eat here. In the morning, half a liter of coffee, that was all. Around noon, they were given 1 liter of soup, vegetable soup, usually cooked of rotten vegetables. Then when they came back from work, they were given again this liquid to drink and a piece of bread. Sometimes with a piece of cheese, sometimes a piece of margarine, and that was all. So fat, which is natural in muscles, was used within the very first few days of staying here in the camp. And later on, the prisoners started to remain walking skeletons.
This is our dinner at a Jewish restaurant here in the
shelf in the middle
Krakow.
of the house where we have
And I'll give you one vodka before we finish the tour. You will come out.
Okay, thank you.
Stand, look here.
I'm finally old enough to vote.
So we are leaving Poland. Well, it's the hotel. A view of Krakow from our hotel. Here's the cathedral we were yesterday. On the hill, castle too.
Wawel Hill.
What's it called?
Wawel Hill.
Wawel Hill. And these are university dorms here in front of us. And then there's the river valleys right there.
Quite a few new things, as you can see, being built recently. And we'll be continuing now, going west from here, northwest to Wrocław.
So that was the end of the food. They are constructing it over here.
I told you, they say that 9% of the world reserve of gold is in Poland. So it's very, very important for their industry, for their economy. They export it all over the world. So we are now in Upper Silesia, the Katowice, which we just passed, the capital. Not very big part of the country, only some 2% of Poland.
Traffic behind him.
Ik vind het als verrekt. Dat je moest alles trouwens en verkouden en veel benen kerk.
Just take the surname first.
Bronco has
Yeah.
Polish donuts for us.
Please.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Yeah.
So he's got vodka for us too.
Dry? Yeah, wait. Here you are. Please, just help yourself, huh? What do you like, dry or sweet?
I'll have the dry.
Not dry.
Also.
Give me up, please.
Thank you.
Would you like a little bit of dry or sweet vodka? What do you think? Dry. Dry, okay. Because
So how's that combination in the morning?
good.
Keep the bottle.
Have a ponchki, huh? Maybe a donut, no? Okay?
Good. Enough vodka.
Sure.
I have the coffee to wake me up, and I take the vodka to make me sleep.
That's right. A little bit of that fruit jelly, and then you have a little bit of vodka first thing in the morning. Because when you sleep, 7-8 hours in the night, your sugar level goes down. Horses and chess players and this and that.
Santa Claus.
They are selling asparagus. Well, the season of good asparagus is finished. But they are selling stew made only out of mushrooms. By using a little bit of finely chopped onions and a hot.
We are having Polish sausage. We're sitting inside the little trailer here. There's no place to sit outside, so it's their kitchen. So everyone is here eating Polish sausage. We are just about ready to go here. We are changing seat rotation in the middle of the day, so there is a little bit of confusion. We are at the German border now.
Because it is an exchange. I mean, in some cases the kids have stayed in contact.
Made it through
And the French person has come
into Germany.
My husband is at an exchange right now with a German school, and it's a school.
Wasn't too bad.
All these things.
And sometimes, I mean, and Havel River, and also lots of little rivers, especially tiny little lakes outside the city. They have like 300 lakes. Years ago, during the whole Cold War, when we remember from all the movies.
So we arrived, it's raining outside. And we're waiting for our room keys now. We're here with Boris.
Yeah, hi.
He's taking us on our little sightseeing tour.
Right. So this is Tiergarten. This is the greatest, hugest, biggest park of Berlin. And now we're driving to the Goldelse oder Siegessäule, which is translated the victory column.
The presidential palace. coming up to the Brandenburg Gate. So here we are at the Reichstag, and we're going to try to go up into the dome and walk around with some people out there walking around. So we are on top of the Reichstag right now. Looking out over the city. Looking out towards West Berlin. Wave to the camera. You can see the dome, the new dome. It's the Brandenburg Gate. And then this is looking off to East Berlin.
Tu queima umazinha pra mim aqui, né? Pega, enfia aquela antena de TV ali atrás. Pega
all the museums.
Não, horizontal.
This is where you can go in and walk around, walk up the dome. There's the river, and there's the tower that was built during the communist days. This is the middle of the dome, and if you look down, the German Parliament is down there. So we're starting to walk up. We're about halfway up. So this is the top of the Reichstag.
Main shopping street before they separated the city, which is in the western part, the Kudamm, where you live very next, complete Berlin.
So is it still used for that? Or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it still?
Yeah. It's the mayor's house. Charlie here. And here they have a museum and can buy some stones from the wall.
So we're driving past, this is what remains of the wall here. What is this building off here to the right, Boris? Do you know?
It's probably a government building or something like that. This is the oldest church.
We're in the old Jewish section of Berlin, and there's a building here. You can see the bullet holes. The fighting have been fixed. Boris said that this is typically what the buildings looked like before they were fixed up after the unification. It didn't look very nice. So, this is my asparagus, sort of an omelet. And what are you doing? Schnitzel with potatoes.
And asparagus.
Asparagus. And Boris ordered a vegetarian meal.
This is farmer's breakfast.
Farmer's breakfast. Yeah. Excellent beer. So we just finished a very nice dinner. Now we're going to go for a little walk here along the river.
And when we turn around, in a minute you look to the right, you can see our House of Parliament.
We stopped here.
Now beside the Reichstag building, you can see this enormous building with the flat top.
It's a small piece of the wall here. And it's really pretty cold and windy here today. So here we are at the Brandenburg Gate. Pretty cold though. There are some bicycle taxis. So there's the Brandenburg Gate down here, and incidentally this is the hotel that Michael Jackson held the baby out over the balcony here. So everyone is getting a picture taken by this piece of the wall here, but we have to go.
And the building right in the middle is the concert hall, the playhouse, built 1818. And the statue we can see now to the right is actually a well-known statue of the poet and writer called Schiller, S-H-I-L-L-E-R. Now these two cathedrals have been converted into two museums. To the right, the French Huguenot Museum, and to the left, the German History. Now this square is also fairly new. All the buildings around were only built after the wall came down. They have added almost 20 restaurants, stores.
This is Checkpoint Charlie, facing the Soviet side of Berlin there. You see the Soviet soldier. So we're on the American side looking towards the Soviet side. Here we are at a section of the wall. We came past here with Boris last night, but we didn't stop. Just looking down towards Checkpoint Charlie down there a couple blocks. This is along the west side of the wall. So along the west side shows some of the old buildings that were here destroyed.
To the left, the Daimler Chrysler, and to the right, the Sony Center. And only 110 meters here, where I showed you the new central station. You're the site where the exchange of spies used to take place. This is still West Berlin, and we are crossing over the river Havel, H-A-V-E-L. The river Spree we saw early on in the city flows into this bigger river.
We are at the palace in Potsdam. The Allies signed the treaty. This is the courtyard. There's another tour group ahead of us. We're waiting for them to get done, now we can go. So the central courtyard here has red flowers because the Soviets were the ones that hosted the conference, and originally they had planted red flowers, and so usually they still continue to plant red flowers. There are 3 entrances to this, why it was ideal for hosting the conference. Each of the delegations could come in. This was the Harry S. Truman American entrance. This was the Soviet entrance, and then further off to the left there was the British entrance.
Black.
This is an obelisk that looks like it has hieroglyphics, like it's from Egypt, but in actuality it doesn't mean anything. It just signifies a royal place. So there's the obelisk at the start of the path. And I'm going to pan around here, not too quickly I hope. Here's where we're headed, this way, and the palace is in this direction. You can see the fountains.
By replicas, the repainted and not so well-known paintings. And Trafalgar was the first European who initiated an art gallery. They started this palace 1745 until 1744. So you come with me, we go on the other side, see the actual 5 portrait displayed all these summer months from
This is the main palace, the fountain, and the walkway up to the palace. Those are fig trees that are growing here. They're covered up in the winter time, and they're the original fig trees that were planted in the 1800s. There's a fountain in front of the palace here. Ducks and lots of carp in the water. People are feeding them, of course. Our tour guide said that someone actually asked her if this was Janet Jackson. She said this lady was actually the wet nurse. And they were nurse slaves in the Prussian Empire, so these were like a playmate of the prince. They grew up with him to show that there were other cultures and other ethnic groups.
One straight ahead, you can see down the street another Brandenburg Palace. It looks a little bit like the Windsor Palace 40 kilometers outside London. And behind this palace is the area called...
So I don't know what they're doing. They're all dressed up though. We are looking for a place to change money, but so far can't find the spot we've located when we're on the bus. This is the bombed out church now that they left as a memorial to the war. Repair it. There is a Velo taxi. Here's another view of the church. We came around the corner a little bit. See, the top is missing. And the window here is missing as well.
What color is her favorite color?
She's into blue now, isn't she?
Blue?
The blueberry dance?
Oh, her blueberry dance, yes. Very nice.
Little guy is pleading for some food. Please feed me, please feed me, please, please. Wow, look at that tea bag. Kaiser's supermarket. So in Berlin, the sidewalk is divided into pedestrian and bicycle sides. So the pink side here is for bicycles. Okay, but you see quite a few bicycles going past here.
Cross here.
Back of the whole city, but it's big. And then later we're gonna just leave the ring road and take the operating for
It's expensive to run it. So we're on our way to Dresden and then to Prague. So we're stopped here to get gas and use the facilities, fuel up the bus, and we're ready to go.
Our family was, you remember,
We are in Dresden.
but also to August the Strong. So August the Strong took our Polish crown. At that time, I mean, still, Dresden is a Protestant town, which is under reconstruction. That's so-called Frauenkirche, Church of Our Lady, which was the most important church in Germany, but it was so badly hit on that night that the sandstone was burning. I mean, the stone was burning from all the bombs, and the dome, huge dome, just collapsed down in the ground and, you know, opened like a crater of 5 meters deep in the ground. If you look, the first building over there on the left-hand side with a nice dome, with a few smaller domes, with golden statues on top of it, that's so-called Albertina. See, Church of Our Lady under reconstruction, they are spending 140 million euros. Can you believe it? About 190 million US dollars to rebuild this church. Next building in the middle with a kind of green-blue roof, that's so-called green vault. That's where the imperial jewels used to be. Now imperial jewels are in Albertina, in the last building on the left-hand side, which I just described. It's one of the best collection of royal jewelry anywhere in the world. It's just amazing. Building next to us, close to the road on the left-hand side, is so-called Von Brill building. Von Brill was Prime Minister during the reign of August the Strong, and Brill is a terrace, a nice terrace here. If you, this is a Catholic church, as I told you, he was converted to Catholicism in order to become Polish king. He built in 1730s links. And now probably the most beautiful opera building in Germany. Here on the right hand side, it's, as you can see, kind of in Renaissance styles, called Center Opera. Center Opera, which was built in 1863, I think, and then in 1869. On the left-hand side, next to us, and now those are built now probably in different shape than it used to be before, but what they are very proud of in Dresden, and they said the most, even the East Germans communists did, to rebuild it. So now it's a more...
So we are in Dresden now. This is Sfinger Palace, and this is the central transportation hub connection area here. And we have about an hour and a half to explore Dresden. So we just came through the gate and we are now in the central courtyard. And we'll just pan around here. See, it's quite a large courtyard, so we're gonna head this way. So we are walking through the gate here, and just need to zoom up. Headed towards the river. We're on the other side of the courtyard now. This is the other half of the courtyard. There's a man playing an accordion there. So this lighting is not the best, but see some of the old buildings facing into the sun though, around the square here. Statue of King Johann, must be. And this is the Opera House. So there goes the rail line. We're gonna walk through here. This is the Catholic Cathedral here. Difficult lighting for taking pictures here, but we'll have to go inside because it's a Catholic church. This is the interior of the Catholic church. It's very white and no stained glass here, unfortunately. So there's a mural here along the street. This is all Meissen porcelain. This whole mural. It stretches all the way down the block here to the end of the street. If you look along the wall here, these are all the kings. So they sell Meissen porcelain here, the window. A little bit pricey. And we noticed the sign here. No elephants allowed inside. You can rent a bike outside the Hilton Hotel. Here's the cathedral that was destroyed in the war, and they're doing a lot of construction to repair it. Bronco mentioned 160 million euros to fix it up. So this is the top, which you're going to have to hoist up there when they're done repairing the roof. So we just had our lunch down here. Walk down. Here's the cathedral that's under construction. And we came down the street, up the stairs, here. And now we're along the river. We gotta get back to the bus stop. We're leaving in 15 minutes. Looking across the river here. We're on the boardwalk, sort of, along here. There's a little grove of trees, and there's the Catholic Church. And pan back, and there's the river again. Here's the Opera House again, and we're heading back to the bus. We've got about 5 minutes here, but there's a quartet playing here in front of which building this is here. To the border.
A little bit smaller than Hungary, about the old Isabel with some 120 years ago. And it's yes, John has. He was a clever man. He was a teacher, professor in some countries in Europe. So when we came now in Bohemia, we are looking at the houses and thinking, well, extremely
very careful in Prague. If you're careful, nothing will happen.
This is a Jewish cemetery that has a cross that they put up in it. Knowingly or unknowingly, we don't know, but there is a Star of David over here. I'm filming. So we made our little stop here, and we're ready to get on the road again. It's Jeanette, as usual, taking a picture of just about everything. Yeah, this is an old fortress, and what was it? Austria. Next to the cemetery that we just visited. Austrian fort.
Moldau, maybe you know the German name of this river. That's the one. Don't worry, we'll cross it a few more times because it makes few turns here, and also there is an island in level. So it's interesting when we go into those locks now. You see the castle district over there on the top of the hill, right? Here, Hilton on the left, the biggest, probably best hotel in Prague. A few years ago, or I mean 5-6 years ago, when Bill Clinton was here in the bar of Václav Havel, you all know the name Václav Havel, extras of the towers. So just like a few hundred meters walk from the new town, I mean from here a little bit farther down to the right is the old town. This new town on the right next to us was established. So we start at 8 o'clock, comfortable shoes please. As I said, please remember to leave all your valuables in hotels. As view of the city from the water level parts that we can cover on the city tour, and there will be a lounge with music. So basically that will be the Wenceslas Square. Wenceslas Square is on our right hand side, and there is a statue of Prince Wenceslav, just a few meters from the sun's started 100 years ago. Look at here to the right, this is the new town, the main square.
This is a church. There. It's a television tower.
But it was built.
Rush hour in Prague. Taking a walk down the street there for dinner. We just finished our buffet dinner at the hotel. It's up there, but it's also on television here. There's our buffet upstairs.
Prince, that is the founder of all the churches here. So this is the main shopping mall, shopping street, and the horses market dating to the 14th century. So the Charles Square or Cattle Market, today it is just the square with a garden, who care. But I tell you that in the 14th century this was twice bigger than the rest of the medieval. This is the English name of the river, Moldau. We Czechs, we call it Vltava, VLT, Vltava. And on the right, on the top of the hill, you can see the complex of Prague Castle, Office of President, the main Roman Catholic Church of the country, the Cathedral of St. Vitus, some islands, and this is a typical view that you will get in any travel agency if you ask how Prague is looking. So, and just now on the right, the palace on the right. And if you look right, you see the fountain, and behind you see the cow. Can you see it? So we have now in Prague something what is called cow parade. Laugh parade, cow parade. And we have over 200 pieces of cows with a different design. And just everywhere they will be standing in the town or laying in the town whole summer. And in September will be the auction, and the money will go to charity. So you
Prague romantic in the sunset. And okay, if you look straight in front of you on the horizon, you have that TV tower. And when you look left,
from the TV tower, you have like the strange construction, like the satellite antenna, something like that. So there behind is place your Hotel Don Giovanni. You are living practically on the opposite hill. And what is under us? Under us is a lesser town, the smaller quarter, with the green dome of the Church of San Nicholas. If you go from the green dome of San Nicholas to the right, you see the black tower. What is the tower of or entrance tower of the Charles Bridge? So that's the pedestrian Charles Bridge down. On the other side of the river, that we have the spires, black spires of the Church of Virgin Mary Church on the Old Town. And then you have a view that is
60-meter
it must be
replica of the Eiffel Tower.
Strong wind like El Nino. Then you can see from the top of the tower to the Czech-German borders direction Dresden. But really twice a year. Advantages, 7 hits. No, do not go in the street.
This hotel was a church. It was destroyed by the communists and converted into a hotel then.
No, we won't. I'll make it up.
You'll say that's the Lutheran church.
We don't know what this is, but it looks nice.
So this is just now the top line that you have on the complex. On the seat of President, we turn left, so you will see the whole beauty of that.
That's the way how to control your staff in 10 kilometers offices. For us, it's very important the flag on the top. It is not a Czech flag, but it is the sign that we have president at home. Here it means as he in this country. Yes, so he doesn't have to be immediately here. He's somewhere in Czech Republic. If in his private house.
These cows are all over Prague. It's decorations to raise money. They'll sell them eventually. We're at the square in front of the presidential palace, which is right behind me. A pan around here. A view of the city. And the palace guards. And the palace is into the sun here.
Triple X, but in the column was filmed Shanghai Nights, very famous.
So we're going to see the changing of the guard here in the top of the hour. Here comes the replacement guard.
So somebody being short as I am. Come here, don't worry.
inside the palace grounds now.
All the institution is feeding the lawyers to fight. When they have to feed the cleaning of the windows, nobody wants to be the owner. So that's why to the old part, crypt, or 287 stairs up to the spire, you must buy your ticket. Honestly, what is there? You see from this transept. And who wants to make 287 steps a week? Then you can do that. But just this is the main, because the most important for you is the minute you will see the rest of all the brand class. So you will see, you will make Buddha, you will tell to everybody that it's done was privilege. It's not that of making it's not a mystery like who
This is the organ. Over 6,000 pipes in that organ. This is the burial place of King Václav. You can see the beautiful stained glass. Here, the side of the church is facing the sun. It's a view from the back of the church.
To the Church of St. Vitus. Anyhow, this is the first
It's the original entrance.
So behind you there is an obelisk or monolith.
This is a mosaic made of glass, a million pieces of glass.
Of Santa George, what is a very famous 13th century fountain. And still you are surrounded with the royal palaces. So that's why you can imagine, that's what I said, that we have here this 10 kilometers because these are all royal palaces going around.
This is the presidential palace. Right across the plaza from the church, cathedral. Here's a view of the cathedral as we're leaving it. We just came around from the left there. And this is St. George's Church.
See a lot of green roofs. No, there's no room here. That's like a real thing.
So this is the exit we just came through, being guarded because the presidential palace is up the corridor there. It's another view of Prague. The light is not so great here though. Looking into the sun.
I think I can get around the tree.
So we're on the bridge now. Walking over to the old part of town. We have these cows all over. Here's a glitter cow. And here's a wiffle cow. Top of the bus stop. It's another one of the cows. Here's another one. And yet another one. It's from the main square here. This is the Catholic Church. St. Mary's. Yes, St. Mary's. We were here last night. And here's the astronomical clock that's here on this church. It's kind of interesting. on this church here. Big crowd here watching. Yet another cow. Wow, it's another cow. We have 3 more cows. It's Friday, and our guide Sasha said that Friday is wedding day. So there's a car decorated in front of the astronomical clock again, and all these cars are decorated for a wedding that must be going on inside there. Wedding party.
Look at that.
So we're walking out to the Charles Bridge. It's the plaza we were at last night. This is outside a restaurant here. Chow Chow was here last night too. It's another cow. This one is, so there's the cathedral and the palace. And here's St. Charles Pedestrian Bridge, which we are going to cross. We're down near the end of the bridge now, Charles Bridge. I just bought a painting. We're gonna head back the other way. The boats on the river here. They come through the lock off to the side. It's another cow. So there are some more cows here, and there's a nice view of the castle and the cathedral, and here's another cow here. This cow here is very interesting. I'll zoom out a little bit here. Don't want to give you the big picture yet. Now watch this. So it blends right in with the surroundings there. And another one. This is the next bridge down the river. There's another one. This one has a map of the metro. So Mom has given in and made a purchase. Very nice face. So we are crossing the bridge on the way to, this is where all the motor coaches are. Parked here. There are buses waiting for us there. Take us back to the hotel before we have dinner at 6:30ish. Sun is trying to come out a little bit, but I felt a few drops of rain, and it looks like over here to the right, clouds are a little bit darker. Maybe a little bit of rain coming. So we're on our way to dinner here. We are at the puppet show. Hopefully they still have tickets left for us. Here we are in the puppet theater. So we went to the puppet show and we are getting on the metro to back to the hotel. So we're here. Our stop. And here's our hotel, right by the metro. Very convenient.
is second largest city in the country. It's capital of. You saw that little cross and some flowers there, because that's the place where Jan Palach, a young Czech student, burned himself. Really, I mean, the city center is on the Seven Hills, same as Rome. Now, on the left-hand side.
I don't remember, we used to always do that with our student groups, always have to call and confirm and make sure that.
No, he told me.
Bohemia. Town here.
It's where they have carp, they farm carp.
Carp on the lake here?
Spend it here, so if you have.
So we're stopped here in a small town. This is our last stop before the border. Some interesting artwork on this building. So the town square is right here. This is the town square here. It's a cathedral. Old buildings from the 16th century. And then this tower here has a 24-hour clock. So we're going to try to go into the church. See if it's open. So there's a castle, old castle there. And this is the valley below the town here.
Here those lakes around here. And as I said, carp is the fish that they have in all those lakes and ponds, side of the river Buda and Pest. And we stayed for 2 nights there. You remember, quite central, located in Hotel Kran Hungaria.
The Austrian border.
Alright, so this is gonna be the Czech side of the border. So this is Czech passport control, and then a little bit later on we'll have Austrian passport control.
Austrian side. Look. Okay. No passport checking here. Through to Austria.
So please later on, if you have a little sandwich or not gonna bother much with Austria any longer, so just take it easy. Betty, here you are. You can trade it with all if you like, maybe Krupnik's honey vodka. This is dry vodka we put over, so just pass it away.
Yeah.
And of course, we expect you to share it with us tonight. No, don't worry, you can, don't worry.
I like that.
Paul? Paul, hold yours up.
I saw a few films, so I think they were going someplace. Rain group.
Yeah, you asked me that the other day. I don't know at all what it is.
I see a couple of them here now, they wasn't quite so full out in class.
Don't worry, I'll find out later. Anyway, before we go out for our dinner, farewell dinner and a concert, I will know definitely. And what I did here, maybe you will have a taxi, huh?
So a few problems with the hotel. Looks like maybe they don't have our rooms ready, so this has been escalated up 2 levels, 2 managers. Bronco is talking, trying to figure something out here. Here's our view looking out from the hotel room. St. Stephen's. A crane. There's the park right below us here. So here's our room. And this is the second time. Now here's the bathroom. And this is the second time that we've seen this little duck. This is self-service bicycle rental. So here we are at St. Stephen's Cathedral. We're right in front of it. And it's too big to fit in the picture, but it's quite impressive. It's the inside of the cathedral. Pretty smoky in here though, from the incense or candles burning. This is another, Mom calls them a triptych. Looks like a book that opens up. 3 parts. We saw that in Poland as well. The view from the outside. We have to get back to the hotel though, because we are leaving for our concert and dinner, doing some reconstruction work. Just missed the police speeding by.
Working in those few buildings here next to the road. We'll see the weather in a second on the left hand side, and that right building on the right hand side, just next to the road. And now the Danube. Promised. But still very important, of course, Vienna and Danube, very important river in Europe. And you see they have a huge, just starting to happen.
There's an island there.
And now, of course, on the other side, divided by the island, is the other part of the Danube. And then she always do.
I'm sorry, I'm
sorry. No, not that.
So, rolling out the red carpet for us, stopping traffic.
No. Maybe you can trade with you want to be
our meal, and we are trying to hide from the rain.
Yeah. I don't know that.
There's another group
So
here.
the process changed?
And look at the tour guide in a black hat. My God.
I missed this when Sam did this for us. They cut the ribbon.
And this is the owner, what a character. Yes.
He works with all the tour companies, huh?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But actually, he's, well, did you enjoy the dinner, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes. Nice place. But, I was just...
He's rolling it up, stopping, waiting for the crowd.
Another Trafalgar bus.
Another one coming.
Oh, excuse me, it's safety in numbers. Look at my face.
He's all
Let's see.
Chevaliers.
Look at my face. They're just asparagus and just look at me. She's a naughty girl.
You're a naughty girl.
Don't tell us.
One hand.
That was you.
He said, come in.
I don't care. Come on here.
This is what you see.
So there was no dirty picture there, huh?
No, just flashing lights.
Do you hear what Jeanette been talking? She went to the men's toilet here, you know.
I can't read, you know. I don't have my glasses. I can't
Just
read.
kept the door open, yes.
There's a ladies' room. There's a ladies' toilet.
That's it. That's
Fancy, isn't it? No, sorry, that's not the ladies' toilet. That's the room outside the ladies' toilet. It's all
We're here for the concert in the Habsburg Palace. We've got front row seats here. Our group right in the front.